Hi everyone, Ben from Trekitt. In today's video we're going to go through the Keb Eco-Shell from Fjällräven. We're going to take you on a little walk today, and over the course of that walk we're going to run through the features of the jacket, everything about it, what it is, what it does, and anything specific to Fjällräven about this jacket, because it is a little bit different than some other waterproof jackets out there. For your reference today, we are on Birch Common. We're going to go on a little walk through the woods and we're going to tell you about this beautiful jacket. Keb Eco-Shell from Fjällräven is primarily a waterproof jacket, but it's a little bit different to what you might expect from some of the brands. They've managed to combine the attributes of a waterproof hard shell with the comfort and stretch of a soft shell. So you get slightly more stretchiness, more comfort, and it's also a little bit quieter, a little bit more like a soft shell, whereas a hard shell would be sort of quite rustly. That means that this jacket is really suitable for everything from big mountain days, sorry, testing the way, to more woodland walks like we're doing today. So you can really use this jacket for pretty much any outdoor activity, and it's nice and quiet, super comfortable, a little bit stretchy. What more do you need? With the Keb Eco-Shell jacket, Fjällräven have decided to use their own eco-proof material on the outer, which is made of a partially recycled polyester. They still use a little bit of virgin polyester as well in there, but it is also recyclable at the end of its life. That's great from an environmental point of view. On the outer of the jacket, they use a PFC-free DWR, which is again fantastic for the environment, really good for the polar bears and everything else. Not just polar bears, good for everyone. It does mean that the DWR is fully PFC-free. You will have to rewash that in to keep the jacket performing at its best, and there are many proofing options available with that. But with this jacket in particular, the Eco-Shell fabric is slightly stretchy. It's also sort of a combination, feels a little bit more like a soft shell than a traditional hard shell. So it's a lot quieter, although that might sound quite loud on camera. A traditional hard shell will be a lot louder, a lot crinklier. So this is a little bit quieter to move in the environment. Feels a little bit more luxury, in all honesty. Feels nice and comfortable. It is also worth mentioning that there are a few, there are a few animal products on this jacket. So notably leather pull tab and leather logo there, which is actually really nice and will age up nicely with the jacket. So there are products on this jacket from animal sources. But honestly, this jacket, super comfortable, stretchy, and just waterproof. Does what it needs to do. Now seems like a really convenient point to start talking about some of the features of the Keb Eco-Shell. We'll start with the hood, and then just up ahead I've spotted a nice little spot that we can stop and talk about a few of the other features. So the hood on this jacket might seem initially pretty enormous. It is helmet compatible, but you do have 3 points of adjustment to make it head compatible, because we're not always going to be wearing a climbing helmet with it. But it is fully helmet compatible, and you do also, just as a nice little note, have a little fox logo embroidered on the top, which is a nice little detail on this jacket. But in order to adjust this to be head compatible, because I obviously don't have a helmet on now, there is an adjuster on the back that I can cinch down, so that's your crown adjuster. And then if I zip this jacket up, avoiding the microphone so I can't quite do it properly, you then have inline adjusters here to cinch the hood down fully. And all of these toggles have got little tabs on them that make them much easier to use with a set of gloves. So if I was wearing gloves right now, that would be easy to do. So I've cinched that down, and it's nice and head compatible now, so I can move around fully and the hood moves with me. It's nice and comfortable, but I can still use a helmet with it if I need to. So for access to this jacket, you get a big chunky YKK AquaGuard zipper that is a two-way. So you've got bottom access here, which makes the jacket fully harness compatible, whether that be rucksack or climbing harness. And on the main zip pull, you do have that lovely little leather tab as well, which actually feels really nice and tactile, and that will also age nicely. Behind that zip, YKK AquaGuard, you do get a nice storm flap as well to seal out the worst of the weather. Talking of zips with this jacket, you do have quite a lot of zips on there, and you might think that's a little bit strange, but all of them have their function. So you've got two Napoleon pockets on the top here, both again behind YKK AquaGuard zips. So the pocket layout is the same on both sides. So inside these pockets, which are big enough just about for a map or a set of gloves, something like that, you do have smaller stretch pockets on the inside, which are sort of more of a security pocket, putting keys in, things like that, and hold it a bit closer to your body. So you've got those there. You do also have an additional pocket on the side here. That's a little side nudge to maybe potentially using this jacket for skiing, things like that. Fjällräven potentially see you doing a bit of ski touring with this jacket, or sort of cross-country skiing, things like that. But that's like a ski pass pocket, or just a nice small easy access one there on the arm, just below that nice little Fox logo as well. You do also, on the inside of the jacket, while we're talking of pockets, have an internal mesh zippered pocket there. I'd ideally sort of keep a phone in there, something like that, or potentially that map again if you've got a smaller Harvey style map. The other zips on the front of this jacket you might think are an extra set of pockets, but they are actually two-way zippered vents. So this goes through to the main body inside. So if I was wearing a mid layer underneath here, I can access all of my pockets on that inside, and it keeps everything out of the way of that sort of climbing harness or rucksack harness again. And this is really good for ventilating a little bit of heat, and it's actually quite easy to access. Some jackets where you have sort of more traditional pit zips, where they're running down the line of the pits, can be a little bit annoying to use sometimes, depending on quite where they're lined up. I struggle with them sometimes, it can be a little bit frustrating. These are nice and easy to access, and I can zip it up fully all the way there. So you do have quite a lot of zips, but they've all got function on this jacket. Moving on to the rest of this jacket, you do have fully adjustable Velcro cuffs, and the cuffs on this jacket, while the Velcro can cinch it right down to being sort of fully wrist compatible, you do have what seems like quite a big sleeve entry. The idea with that is that you have a little bit more space so that you can cinch this over the top of quite a big glove if you are working in a ski environment or more of a mountain environment where it does get very cold. You know, Fjällräven being Swedish, tends to be a little bit colder over there than the UK, but it's just a nice feature to have because you can get a glove right under there, which we will also demonstrate in a second, but you can also cinch it down really tight over the top to make it wrist compatible, or over the top of a glove as well, depending on the style of glove you've got, whether it's a gauntlet or whether it is a slightly shorter glove. So they're nice and adjustable, nice and comfortable. You get really good articulation with this jacket, so I can reach up and overhead. There is a little bit of hem rise, but not masses. And this jacket is a little bit longer in the body, which for me is ideal because I've got quite a long torso. Also, to avoid that hem rise on the bottom of the jacket, you do have bottom hem adjusters, so I can, on both sides, cinch in those toggles and get the jacket sitting nice and snug to me, and there's an elastication around the hem which keeps everything nice and locked in. So about 3-4 miles through our walk in the woods now, and got to be honest, it's just really nice to be out here. Autumn is happening all around us, leaves are falling off the trees, there's deer making noises, we've got a spaniel enjoying the crunchy leaves, and you know, it's about 10 degrees. It's just a beautiful autumn day out here. Can't think of many places I'd rather be right now rather than out here. Oh, sorry, different shot. Look at this mushroom. Look at this. Look at that. Cute tiny little mushrooms there. Aren't they nice? I have no idea what mushrooms they are, so I'm not going to touch them, but nature. So one really important thing with any piece of outdoor clothing is how it fits. So I'll list off my measurements first. I'm 6'3" with quite a long torso and 44 inch chest. I've also got quite long arms. And this Keb Eco-Shell jacket I've got on today is a size large. I think it honestly fits me rather well. It's long enough in the sleeves, so it's not excessive, but something I often find with jackets is that the sleeves aren't usually long enough for me, but this fits me really well. It's also quite long in the body. That can be really good for using it as more of a walking jacket, but if you are a little bit shorter in the torso, one thing that you might find is that it feels a little bit long. This for me is fine in terms of length. It also gives me a bit of bum coverage, which is always a good thing. But if you do find that it is a little bit on the long side, you can always use that two-way zip, undo the popper, and then that frees up some more movement because the jacket will move a bit better with you. This size large has enough space underneath it that I can use it with winter layers. So I haven't got a winter layer on underneath, I've only got a base layer on today, but there is enough room for insulation. But otherwise, it's not excessive anywhere, like it fits nicely at the bottom hem. I'm not getting an excess of material anywhere when I'm not wearing those layers. It honestly just fits rather well. The cut of this jacket is very good. I think Fjällräven have really kind of nailed it. The only downside is potentially if you are on the shorter side. So if you've got a shorter torso or short arms, you may notice that it doesn't quite work for you in that way, but they are fully adjustable with those cuffs, with the bottom hem adjuster and everything there, so you can usually make this fit quite a lot of body types. So there's a creature over there. We're pretty sure it's a deer that's making some noises. It's a little bit like that.
Jurassic Park.
It also sounds a little bit like Jurassic Park over here now. So that about wraps up our little inside look video of the Keb Eco-Shell jacket. We've now finished up and we're at the tea rooms at Croft Castle because we've got coffee and cake, which is a great way to finish any walk. But if you'd like to learn a little bit more about the jacket, shop the other colours, sizes and the rest of the Keb Eco-Shell range, there'll be a link on screen now. You can also visit us in the Hereford Service Centre where we also stock the Keb Eco-Shell jacket if you'd like to try it on or need a little bit more guidance on it. If you'd like to see any more videos on Eco-Shell in the future, maybe a comparison between Eco-Shell and Gore-Tex, then let us know down below and we can make something like that happen. I'm going to enjoy my coffee and cake and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. With the Keb Eco-Shell jacket, Fjällräven